No,
she's not real, Jay.
She is real.
She's not real. We'd be fading in here, and then I'd say, Mark Crombu Weebs, my name is Cole, his name is Mike, his name is Jay, we like anime, and this is episode 60 of the Anime Protagonist podcast, and on this week's episode, we are moving closer to the weebies next week, in fact. And so to lead up to that, we are doing our first ever worst anime of the season, which we have affectionately come to call the Middies. The Middies, everybody, the Middies. And
get it? They're mid.
They're mid. And in celebration of that, we're going to discuss what is mid. But before we get into any of that, Jasif, my friend, what is on your mind?
Sorry. I'm pretty sick. With Fire Emblem fever.
Oh! It's Jay's game corner.
Got him.
Welcome to the Game Corner.
You can't just spring these. You can't just spring these things on me, Mike. The soundboard is too much power.
It's so much power.
If the listeners haven't noticed already, I don't like that one. If the listeners haven't noticed already, we have a soundboard now, and it is horrible. This is a horrible decision.
This is the worst decision we've ever made.
Worst decision. We gave Cole way too much power. Jay, tell us about Fire Emblem sickness.
So Fire Emblem came out this past week. And I've been playing it nonstop.
You could audibly hear Jay doing the math on what I'm recording this day. When does this come out?
But Mike and Cole literally had to pull me away from my Switch to record.
Physically,
we had a little bit of a warm up, and I was like, I'll just play during the warm up. It's good.
No.
And Mike and Cole were like, no, you can't. Nope. You're not allowed to do that.
Nope. I threatened to put my hands on either side of Jay's head and just apply an idiot sandwich and apply force to my hands until my hands met in the middle, crushing Jay's head like a coconut.
I did my classic threat that I do to Jay when he plays his video games for too long. I threaten I'm going to come into his room and boy, I'm going to take that Switch and I'm going to smash it.
If you do that, you're buying me a new one.
I know.
But no, honestly, like this game is so good.
Yeah, I am excited. I heard it was not as good as Three Houses, but I'm excited for the Jalian review. So let's hear it. Let's hear what it's
depends on what you're looking for in Fire Emblem. In terms of like gameplay and combat, it feels like it's going back to what made Fire Emblem fun in the first place. Three Houses kind of like took out a couple of mechanics, like there used to be like a weapon triangle where lances were good against swords, swords were good against axes, axes were good against lances. They took that out in Three Houses. It's back in this one, and like it brings a lot more strategy to like which units you want to use, where you want to place your units, because like there's a new mechanic called breaking, and if you get hit by the weapon you're weak to, then you drop your weapon. You can't fight for the rest of the round. And Cole's just like staring at me like,
yeah, the Cole has no idea.
I think I see a little bit of steam coming out of his head.
Yeah,
sparks.
He looks like a Titan from Attack on Titan. I didn't realize that the weapons triangle was gone from Three Houses, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's
I
not
thought swords
there.
were still strong against lances and stuff like that in that game.
No, it's it was gone. I'm not sure what the reason was, aside from like maybe they decided to simplify it just for like new people or something. I'm not too sure.
I mean, it worked, right? That was the most popular Fire Emblem game in forever. So
yeah, and like it literally was the best-selling Fire Emblem game.
I believe it.
Of all time.
Do you know what really was the best part of that game?
Waifu simulator?
The Hogwarts waifu simulator part of it. So please tell me, Jay, have they retained that in this new game?
So, yes and no.
No.
There's no, like, Hogwarts. Like, it's not you're in a school, but you're in a floating castle in the sky. And you can walk around and talk to...
That's That was too much for Cole.
Yeah.
Yep. yeah. The synapses finally broke.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go around the floating castle, talk to your different units.
You're just in a flying
okay.
castle in the sky.
Yeah, you're basically watching Castle in the Sky by Miyazaki.
Yeah.
Hey, anime reference.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Thank you. But yeah, honestly, like it's so much fun. Probably after we're done recording, I'm gonna keep playing because it's so good.
I know you will. Yeah, I know you will. I will get it at some point. You guys know me. I'm cheap and I don't like paying for new games, and so I'll buy this in like 3 years and I'll feel all superior because I managed to pay $20 less for this game.
Joke's on you.
Meanwhile, you're gonna have to.
Meanwhile,
you're gonna have to like avoid all the spoilers you can on the internet if you care about that.
Isn't that the most frustrating thing though? Like, I'm a Nintendo fan, and I also am a patient gamer who waits for like games to go cheap. It's like they're just incompatible things. It's just I'm paradox of a man.
That's the thing about the internet, right? Like, now that the internet exists, if you're on it, you have to like stay off it when a new thing comes out if you're not getting it day one, because you're going to read some kind of spoiler.
I think you know what? Like, I'm not much of a Twitter user, and I think that saves me in this case.
Honestly,
I feel like
that's
Twitter
probably
is
your
like
best.
is the center for spoilers.
Yeah, it's also the biggest cesspool of toxic fans.
Listen, man, I've been on Reddit.
Reddit
I
is
prefer Reddit.
Reddit's nice.
I prefer Reddit.
But go to the comments sometimes and it's like, ooh.
Stay away from the comments.
I love the comments though. That's where I live. I live in the comments. I'm like I'm a little goblin in the comments.
With Reddit though, like it depends on the subreddit you're in, because like some of them can actually be like really good, but others are just no. Whereas Twitter, it's just like you're on the internet.
You just see
the
it
Wild
all.
West.
Yeah.
You just see it. Yeah, it's
Welcome
just all
to the
there.
internet.
Twitter is chaos. It's true.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are. Oh,
wait!
sorry.
Before you go to me.
Yeah.
Rating. What's your rating after playing for 2 hours?
So I've played for 2 hours. I'm gonna give it the patented AniPro rating. So that's from Antagonist to Protagonist. So far, it's like teetering on the edge of Protagonist and supporting.
Yeah. Okay. Checks out. Checks out.
It's like a 8.
Yeah.
8.5.
I give it like an 8 right now. And like that could obviously change. I've just played the first couple hours of the game. So I'll probably update on it. Either over on my Twitter or here, wherever. Or in our Discord. Join our Discord.
Yeah, we have a
Join our Discord. Join our Discord.
Lots of really nice people in our Discord. Go hang out with them too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of hanging out with nice people, Mike, what's on your mind?
Who's the nice people?
You.
Oh, I'm not nice at all. What is on my mind today? Well, first of all, the long week that I've had. I worked overtime this week, so I am a sleepy boy, but that's okay. That's just part of being a grown-up, is you're just always tired and you're just always busy, and you never really feel like you're getting anything done, and then you go to the next week, and then you just do the same thing all over again. But I want to ask you guys, lights.
Yeah.
Like lighting in your house
like
and
the
lighting
musician?
in general. No, not the music, not the Canadian synth pop musician lights. I'm talking like, you put a light in your ceiling or put a light in your lamp or something like that. Have you ever looked into like what the different, what do you call it? Like temperatures of light are? Like, how sometimes you get like warm light, and then sometimes you get like the daylight, and then sometimes
Mike,
you get like
always
the
come in here
bluey
with
light.
like the most boomer takes.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man?
Do you ever look at your temperature of your lights? No.
Come on, man. You got to know this stuff. Like, you go into a house and they got the blue light, and you step out. You don't go in that house anymore.
No, I don't.
No, you guys have no idea? Oh, okay. Well,
no. Honestly, I don't really care about lights.
Really? Because, like, legitimately for me, like,
I prefer the
have
darkness.
my house.
Yeah, no.
Says the guy with the brightest room right now on the video.
Cole normally
check out our
records
YouTube
in
videos. We have
darkness.
video now. Yeah, Cole's living in the light today. He's going to turn off his lights. Yeah.
But no, honestly, like for me, it's like as long as I can see and see clearly, I don't care what color the light is.
Really? Wow. Okay, so like at my work, people will like we share like a big open office with like probably 20-ish people, and midday it's too bright in there, and people don't like the fluorescent lights, so they go and turn off the lights, and then we just have the daylight in there. But then also
fluorescent lights suck.
So you do care about the lights.
I guess
I'm not just a boomer now. Yeah. And then sometimes you ever notice that like lights are a little too white and you can't get comfortable? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, never mind. Maybe I'm the crazy one here. That wouldn't be.
I think the thing is
shocking.
I'm always uncomfortable.
Oh, that could be it too.
Yeah. I think that's the problem.
I'm always uncomfortable too, around the two of you.
That's fair. We are very angry and mean people. So you totally threw me for a loop here. I thought this was like a universal thing. I thought people cared about like in my house, I have in my bedrooms and rooms where you want to be comfortable, they are warm yellow light. And then in places where you need to like see what you're doing, like say the kitchen, we're talking bright white light. And if you have that blue light, you stay out of my house because there ain't none of that here. But
I have blue light bulbs specifically.
Oh, they're like vibey, like our street lights here.
Thank you, city of blank.
What if you just had every single light bulb be a black light?
That would be horrible. You would know way too much about people. You don't want that, Jay. You don't want that.
You don't want that. You don't want that. I would be glowing.
Yeah. People would come into your house and they'd just be literally glowing from head to toe, and you'd be like, "What have you done? What have you done?" Ara.
Sorry.
Yeah, now I'm at a loss. I don't know what even to talk about anymore.
No, I guess
Cole failed on the drop there.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, Cole, what's on your mind?
Internet here. It's going crazy. What is on my mind? Well, there's many things. 2 things specifically that I'll tell you guys about. First, let's get into the bad things that are on my mind. We record on Fridays, as a lot of people know. I was subject to a flight cancellation for my upcoming trip.
Oh no! How did that go?
That was Wednesday. That was Jay and I were at our weekly meetup for Weiss Schwartz game night. I had a flight cancellation. My second flight in my 3-flight trip to Tokyo. So it goes from our city to Tirana, Toronto. And then initially I was supposed to go from Toronto to San Francisco to Tokyo. My flight from Toronto to San Francisco was canceled. Everything else was fine, right? Sucks.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. So now what I did was I spoke to the travel company, whoever it is, don't need to be specific, and they rescheduled my flight. Great. Awesome. So now I go from our city to Toronto, have an hour and a half layover, and then from Toronto to Newark, New Jersey.
Of course.
Have a 50-minute a 50-minute layover in Newark.
Okay.
And then I fly from Newark to Tokyo. Can you believe that there's a flight from Newark, New Jersey to Tokyo?
That is very random.
I'm a little nervous about the 50-minute layover between Toronto and
tight.
Newark.
That does feel
That's tight. But we'll figure it out. I'll get to where I'm going. It'll all work out in the end.
Yeah.
Just protect your wallet and things like that. Make sure you don't get pickpocketed.
No, leave it
Not
out.
in an airport. Yeah.
Yeah.
I carry them.
What does the Friday have to do with this now? Because that was the first thing you said was the Friday.
Oh, because this happened on Wednesday, and then today
you're just saying
I rescheduled.
A couple days ago.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So a couple days ago, and then...
Did you have to pay anything for a change?
No, because it was a flight cancellation. I've already paid for it. So
yeah.
They just
refunded you or just rescheduled it. Yeah. So you actually booked this trip to Japan, Nippon, the land of anime, through a travel agent?
Yes. Well, no, okay. One of the travel companies,
Oh, like Expedia or something like that?
Like your Expedia or your Trivago. I don't want to say specifics because I don't want to give anybody the credit,
Yeah.
Or the discredit in this case.
They've screwed you over and helped you in this case, so they get no help from us.
So
and our thousands of listeners.
Yes, to combat that depression, I have been obsessively listening to the song Tombi, which is the OP for Trigun Stampede, because that song slaps. Let me tell you, boys, that song ain't mid. That song is peak. That song gets a protagonist from me.
That song slaps harder than Will Smith at the Oscars.
Ooh, Jay with a very timely reference.
Yeah, I feel like we've had enough time since that moment that we can now talk about that without is long enough ago that we don't need to worry about getting flagged for it, right?
Oh, well, what would we get flagged for?
I don't know, maybe people would
I think
complain
even like in the moment you could talk about it because it was like such a ridiculous moment.
It was very ridiculous.
Okay.
So last week I tweeted out a list of common foods that I haven't eaten, and I thought I'd read it out for you boys.
Okay, good.
And just
this
is
gonna be a very good segue here.
I know. This
Not
is
jarring at all for the listeners.
All right. So we're gonna start out the top of the list with Christmas ham.
What made you think of Christmas ham? And what's the difference between ham and just Christmas ham?
Because
same thing.
No. Okay, so the reason I specified Christmas ham on the list is because I have had cold cut ham, but I haven't had like roast ham.
Okay. So roast ham,
Warm ham.
like a ham roast.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a ham roast.
What about
I haven't had that.
what about a fried ham sandwich?
No, I've just had cold cut ham. That's it.
Okay.
Eggnog. I think I mentioned that to you boys.
That one's acceptable. That's acceptable.
Strawberry milkshakes.
Why specifically just strawberry?
I just never had strawberry milkshakes. I don't know.
That's the best milkshake, by the way.
Yeah,
you're missing out.
Never
like
had it.
chocolate.
I've had
I
chocolate.
don't
I've
like
had
cold
vanilla.
chocolate.
I've never had strawberry.
I like chocolate milkshake.
I like vanilla milkshakes.
I can show you the world.
I'm not down
shining,
to
shimmering splendor.
I'm
What
down.
is going on
milkshake.
in this episode?
I'm down to trying a strawberry milkshake one day.
I'm offering to show Jay the world of strawberry milkshakes and eggnog.
Man,
obviously,
we are.
duh.
Listen, I'm apologizing profusely to the listeners for having to listen to this.
Yeah.
Should I stop?
No.
please
I'm
keep
apologizing. I'm apologizing for Michael's behavior in this episode.
Okay. Next on the list, sloppy
Fair.
joes.
You know what? Honestly,
You know
I
what?
don't know if I've ever had a sloppy Joe.
Really?
I can't think of an opportunity
our city
or a
is like
situation.
known. Our city's known for these things called Fat Boy burgers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of essentially they're amazing burgers. It's basically a burger with chili on it. And
I've never had
I feel
chili.
like that's so close to a sloppy Joe, you could get away with it.
Sorry, you're kind of. It's not just chili. Like, it's not like they just.
No,
It's
there's
like-
more to it.
It's not
it's
just chili on a
chili-
bun.
It's chili in the sense that it's meat, but there's like none of the like other stuff that's in chili. Like chili has beans and stuff. This is more just like fried beef and the chili spices.
Oh yeah,
And,
you're
like, I
right. A
think,
sloppy
like,
Joe
cheese
is
is mixed in.
just ground beef, onions, tomato sauce, or ketchup. Other seasoned serving on a hamburger bun. So yeah, you know what? That's not a super common thing to eat these days, I don't think.
No, I thought like a lot of, maybe it's a more common in the States, but like, yeah, I've never had it. I know a lot of people talked about it when I was a kid, but yeah, I guess
It's kind of in the same category as like a meatloaf. Like it was a very popular thing, but not many people make it anymore.
it's funny.
I
It's
love
funny you
meatloaf.
mentioned that. It's
I
funny you
love a
mentioned that,
meatloaf.
Mike.
Oh,
I
really? Is that your next thing?
That's the next thing on the list.
No way.
Really?
Oh,
I'll make you
Never
meatloaf.
had meatloaf.
Oh,
I
cool.
will
Can I
make
have
you a meatloaf.
too? My
Yes.
Shazana hates meatloaf, and I love meatloaf. So please,
Let me tell you the secret of meatloaf.
Tell me the
Meat
secret.
in a
baking it.
loaf.
When you're baking it, ketchup on top, and then just strips of bacon atop.
Okay, I have a question
all.
for you boys. This just came to my mind.
And then the fat from the bacon drips
Yeah.
into the meatloaf.
Fat is flavor, as they
I have
say.
a question for you boys. If
Yes,
you
Jay.
have a hamburger outside of a bun, like just the patty, is that a meatloaf?
No, that's a Salisbury steak.
It's a Salisbury steak, yeah, or a Hamburg steak, as they say in Japan.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
But it is essentially the same thing. A meatloaf is basically just a hamburger patty in the shape of a giant loaf.
Yes.
Okay.
If you've ever had you can actually make meatloaf in a muffin tin, and it is delectable because it's basically just a little hamburger. It's very good.
What about Yorkshire pudding? Have you guys had Yorkshire pudding?
Mid.
What is Yorkshire
it's a mid
pudding?
Food.
Mid?
Yeah, Yorkshire
what
pudding.
is Yorkshire
mid.
pudding?
Yorkshire pudding is like a specific. I don't know why it's called pudding. I think it's
like a
called pudding
bread.
because
It's
it's
a type of
like
bread.
old. Yeah, it's a very simple bread that you cook in the oven, but very hot, and it rises super fast.
Never had it.
And it's very dense.
Never had
Yorkshire
it.
It's good.
pudding is
I
a
love
baked pudding made from a batter of eggs, flour, milk, or water, a common British side dish.
Mhm.
It kind of is like croissant-y a little bit, but
It's
also
denser
like
than a croissant.
way denser. And it's kind of
Yeah.
like, again, as I said, quite mid, as the kids
I
would
love
say.
it. I love it. It's the perfect side dish to like a nice roast beef.
Me and Jay are coming over for some
Roast beef
meatloaf.
Or
Meatloaf
meatloaf.
and roast beef.
Yorkshire
and
pudding?
roast beef and
Yeah. Jay's just
Roast-
losing
Oh
it.
my god. You guys
What's
are
but-
happening?
So the
Yeah.
last two I've already mentioned on the podcast in chili and hard-boiled eggs, so we don't need to go into detail about those
That's
two.
true.
So
It's
we're
old
just
news.
going
The
to jump off of
craziest
mid.
ones.
We're going to jump off of the fact that Mike talked about something that's mid and talk about the
Yorkshire
word mid
pudding.
in general.
Okay.
What is mid? Yeah, I think we should just jump into
Cole, I
Cool.
think I think you know what needs to be played from the soundboard.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There we go.
Tell us
Just
about the
need a
middies, Cole.
dump
No, okay. The middies are coming up after the break,
Oh, right,
but we
yeah.
wanted to just kind of discuss what is mid to us, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start the conversation just because I'm the one talking right now and I like
Probably
the
a
sound
good
of
move.
my own voice.
Yeah.
Mid to me isn't necessarily bad. It's just kind of mediocre, I guess would be how I would describe mid in my word.
So
I do hate the phrase mid. I use it purely
Oh, yeah.
ironically.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
agree.
a lot of people do. Like, I know that there are people that but like, I feel like there are most people that use the word mid use it as like either a meme
semi-ironically
or
yeah.
ironically. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you know what? I will say I like the spirit of mid. I just don't like that what people use mid for most of the time doesn't match my definition of it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, kids these days and all that, you know.
Kids these days and their darn words.
I'll use this as a segue to basically say what I think mid is. I think mid, to me, it just is like a perfectly mediocre thing. It's not bad. It's not good. And like when you're done it, you completely forget it ever happened because it just is not memorable in any way. You know what I mean? Like if it was if it's so bad that it's memorable, it's not mid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
mid is just like purely you're eating a plain white piece of toast.
Mid
It's like,
is forgettable.
mid is the
Yeah.
most 5 out of 10 thing ever.
Yeah, like, and I don't ever rate things 5 out of 10. Like, honestly, for me, like, if something's mid on any list, it's like a 6 or like a low 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
I'm saying
Yeah,
you know what I
mid
mean
would
a
be
lot. I
like-
need to stop that.
Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying? We need that drop.
Yeah, we do. Yes. Yeah. No. Mid is just kind of like a 7 out of 10. It's fine. It's forgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you're done
it
you
didn't
can't
do
name a
anything
single
offensive.
character. Yeah.
Didn't do anything offensive, but it didn't do anything great either.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I can understand when people say like the biggest mid thing to me, the thing that pops into my head when I hear somebody say mid is Jay's favorite show, Demon Slayer.
Mid Slayer.
Really? You
Demon
think
Slayer?
Demon Slayer is mid?
No, I don't think it's mid. I think
I
it's
just want you to get you
it's
I want to record
genuinely
you saying that on the podcast.
I think it's genuinely a decent show.
Cole,
But
I want you
can
to
see
remember
where
who's
people
the one that does the clips.
I can see where people come from when they say that it's mid because it's just like unoffensive. It's pretty milk toast. It's pretty like blah.
Yeah.
But I think Demon Slayer does enough well that it transcends the midness
I agree
of it.
with you. I think Demon Slayer, like you said, transcends mid, Whereas like a mid version of Demon Slayer to me is something like Black Summoner or Orient or something like that, where like it just does nothing special. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's mid? And I will get hate for this one. Dragon Ball Z.
I feel like Dragon Ball Z gets a pass just because of the legacy. You can't. It's not
legacy.
apple. It's apples to oranges at this point.
Yeah, I think if Dragon Ball Z didn't have the legacy it had, then it would be considered mid. But like the fact that it basically like fathered a lot of popular and good shonen anime and manga.
Yeah, I agree with
It has
Jay.
to hold more weight than just mid.
If Dragon Ball Z came out today, we got the Boo Birds out. If Dragon Ball Z came out today, I think it would be mid. Mm-hmm. But because Dragon Ball Z came out in the 80s and 90s, I think it's fine.
Actually,
guys, I got news for you. Dragon Ball Z does come out today. It's called Dragon Ball Super.
And Dragon Ball Super, I would agree, is kind of mid.
Yes.
Kind of
a
mid.
little bit.
Would you say
pretty mid.
would you say Boruto is mid, or would you say it's
no, I'd say it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Bad, not good.
Yeah. I would say Boruto, it manages to upset people enough and do things poorly enough that it's fully in the bad category.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think mid to me, like perfectly described by, like I said earlier, like Black Summoner, Orient, those shows that like you watch and legitimately by the like you drop 3 episodes in because you're just so bored.
Yeah,
like you're more bored than offended. Whereas I honestly would rather watch a show that offends me than a show that bores me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like mid is actually while it might be like a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10, I would rather watch the 1 out of 10 that's actually bad than watch the 5 out of 10.
Here's my nomination for midness. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, the anime. Remember that anime came out?
Yeah, it might come up later in the show.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly. But people just forgot about it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty mid.
Quite mid. I'm trying to think of more things to say about mid here. I don't like when people call like things that are obviously not mid. Like when they're saying it shouldn't be a way to just say like this show is bad. You know what I mean? Like that's not what mid is.
Yeah, so I guess that jumps right into my thoughts on mid.
Oh yes, Jay still hasn't said his thoughts on mid. Sorry.
Back to Cole and Mike forgetting about me.
No, I forgot we were still Sorry, Jay.
Forgot about Jay.
No, it's all good. So yeah, I
forgot about Jay.
I agree with the fact that like you know, it's a good word to use for things that are just like okay. You don't really like you're not gonna remember it after you watch it, but like you're not gonna be like angry or upset once you finish it. It's just like it's fine. But the thing that bothers me about the word mid is the culture surrounding it, I think. And that's probably the most like cringe thing about it is like when people will like they'll just like look at people talking about something they'll like and then they'll just be like, it's mid.
Yeah, it's almost like a way to, it's like a troll tactic most of the time these days.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm too old. Anime Bunny in our Discord has called me the dad of the Discord, and I'm certified too old to, like, even, I don't know. I just, like, when I see people arguing online about this is mid, or this is better than this, or something like that, I'm like, who cares? Just watch what you like. Just, who cares?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like, don't let other people's opinions on shows bug you. Not everyone's going to agree with you.
I think anime is like the perfect, like, your taste really is your taste. Because there's so much different stuff out there that you really... Something could be mid to me, and it could be excellent to Jay, right?
Yeah.
It could be same thing, like, it's just the way it goes.
Like, I think Classroom of the Elite is like that for Cole. Like, would you like... I feel like Cole, you'd consider it mid.
I'd say it's below mid for Cole.
Yeah, I would... like, if mid is forgettable, I would say Classroom of the Elite is not mid. I genuinely dislike that show.
But regardless.
Again, the spirit of your argument is there. Everybody has very specific tastes when it comes to anime. So
actually, you know what? This could be a little good, interesting segue Jay brought up here. Which of our shows that we've reviewed is the most mid to you guys? I'll go first. For me, this is an easy one. It's Crest of the Stars. I think that was the most mid of the shows we've watched. Because I just like, I didn't really care about anything pretty much the entire way through it. And I think that just, and I don't really care about the characters. And it didn't really do anything that wowed me at any point. So
Right.
I think that is for me like the definition of mid.
Right. Jay, go ahead, because I'm struggling to think.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think about this because I'm being put on the spot.
I feel like our last one is probably based on
Charlotte.
what you get.
I feel like I could definitely say Charlotte. Another one. I would say. Yeah, this is very tough.
It's tough because I don't think Anohana you can rule out because it's Anohana's not mid.
It was good.
Anohana's good.
One I'll say at the risk of upsetting one of our previous guests, perhaps.
Oh.
I didn't like Sing a Bit of Harmony very much. I think it was pretty mid.
Okay.
Yeah, for me.
Sorry,
specifically.
Jonathan.
I mean, it was.
I don't remember if we said his whole name.
I'll bleep it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
just
John.
in case.
Oops.
Sorry, Jonathan Bleep.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, I think like the thing that makes it more memorable for me is that we got someone that actually worked on the localized release.
Sure, but that doesn't make the anime.
Yeah, no.
memorable.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just saying, like, for me, that's what I remember from it.
Yeah,
When we watched it and reviewed it, we had someone that
I
actually
see how
worked on
someone
it.
could see it as mid. I could see that. I enjoyed it though. I will say that.
We're not
enjoyed
reviewing it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I might have to like look through our reviews again because I don't remember everything.
It's probably one of mine. It was probably Land of the Lustrous or something.
No, I would guess
I'd
Edge
say
Runners.
Land of the.
If I had to guess one for Jay.
Yeah, like I want to say Edge Runners, but like there are parts of it that I did really enjoy. I you know what? I'm gonna say Charlotte. I think Charlotte, like, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like great. It was just kind of like in the middle. So
I could
literally
like
the
I said with the
textbook
last
definition of mid.
Yeah, like I said with the Sing a Bit of Harmony take, I could see that for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think we've reached the end of our Middies discussion here. How about we just like absolutely like stand at the top of the diving board here. 1 bounce, 2 bounce, trip, smash our foot on the diving board, and then belly flop into Michael's mailbag.
It's time for the mailbag.
So it's funny you say that, Cole. I actually have done that. Literally verbatim what you said.
Yeah,
you told us that.
Tell the story again, Jay.
Okay, so how old was I?
Here,
I think
hold on, Jay.
Yeah.
In my mailbag this week does Jay have any funny stories related to a diving board? Jay?
That's...
Huh. What a coincidence. So yeah, I was in, I think it was 11th grade in high school. I made a bet with my friend that I could jump off the tallest, diving board at the local pool. Because I was like, oh, that's super easy. And he was like, we're doing it. So I was like, okay. So we went to the local pool and, I get to the very end. I look down. I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe this is a bit more difficult than I thought.
You're kind of like, oh crap, what have I got myself into?
Yeah.
Second guessing yourself. Yeah.
So like,
your
okay.
eyes were bigger than your stomach, as the proverb goes, as the old saying goes.
The diving board was like, it wasn't flat, like it was just like slightly tilting downward.
Oh, that's horrifying.
So like,
especially
I was
for
like,
the 10 meter.
I think it was the 10 meter. I can't remember which one it was. So like, I'm like, okay, we're just gonna jump. I'm just gonna do it. And so I jump, hit my foot on the diving board, and I'm like, I'm thinking in my mind, oh crap, fall. I belly flop into the pool, and as I'm sinking to the bottom, I just hear throughout the pool, ooh.
I'm just sorry, I was picturing the entire time there. Like, just picture this in your head. Like, you look up at the diving board, there's Jay, and he like goes to jump off it, and then he like kind of trips, and you just see like Jay's carcass falling through the air and then hitting the water, belly flopping. And you're just like, oh God,
I got out of the pool, and my friend was like dying of laughter, I remember, and I was so mad.
Yeah, and you were literally dying.
That's one of those situations where like you're like worried a little bit, but it's also hilarious at the same time.
Yeah, like I was so embarrassed, but at the same time, like I knew like you have to laugh at it.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, actually in the mailbag this week, we have a couple ones. I'm going to quickly fire off Opie Master Ash's question, which is, have you watched or read these series? And out of 10, what do you rate these? Wotakoi, Oregairu, and Haru Ride. I will go first. No. Cole, Jay, have you watched these series and what would you rate them?
Can you go through them one at a time again?
All right. Wotakoi, Love is Hard for the Otaku.
Okay, one at a time. Okay, hold on. Slow down there, Mike. I gotta think.
I just said one of them.
I gotta think here, Mike. Give me a second to think about it.
Are you loading up your Annie list? So you make sure you don't contradict yourself?
Wotakoi, I'd give a 8. I liked Wotakoi.
Okay.
It was pretty
Jay?
good. It was cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wotakoi, I think I'd kind of meet you there, Cole. I'd give it an 8. I think that's what I gave it on my Annie list, is an 8.
Mm-hmm. Checks out. What about
cute.
Oregairu?
Which one's Oregairu? I'm bad with Japanese names.
I think that's My Romantic Teen Comedy Snafu.
Teen Snafu.
I've only seen the anime, which I would also give a 7.5, an 8. It's above mid, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have both seen the anime and read most of the light novel. The anime, I would give a probably like an 8, and then the light novel, I'd give a 9.
Okay. And what about Haru Ride?
I really like that one. I'd give that, in terms of it, again, I've only seen the anime, 8.5. I like that one.
So of these three, you'd say that's the best one?
For me.
Okay.
I think it was more interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. I watched it like years ago, so I don't really remember it that much, but I remember giving it like a 7. Like, it was good. It wasn't like amazing for me.
It's a very pretty anime, but I haven't read it.
Yeah.
So which one's your favorite of these three then, Jay?
Snafu,
and then Cole's would be Haru Ride. And I haven't seen any of them, but I'm going to just go ahead and say probably Wotakoi, honestly. Honestly, the one that appeals me to the most.
We keep telling you to watch Wotakoi because it's like, it seems like something you'd love to watch with your wife.
Yes,
it
is
good review
up my alley. It could be a good review. We have too many review options, too little time.
I know. Like, I'm the one picking next, and I have no idea what.
I was going to ask you that the other day, if you had any idea.
No. Or maybe I do.
We got some time.
Maybe I'm just BSing you.
I don't believe you. Okay, next up is our other question. This one's going to be from Bunny in our Discord. And the question is, what is your favorite dog breed and why? Mine is Golden Retriever because I grew up with one. Well, Bunny, listen. My favorite dog breed is also Golden Retriever. And you know why? Because I grew up with Golden Retrievers. And I own a Golden Retriever right now. His name is Kylo. He's a nice boy. He's sleeping in the hallway right now.
He is a good boy.
So happy. He is a good boy. Yep. Cole, Jay?
I don't know.
Cole's not a dog guy.
Mutts. I always had mutts. No, don't say I'm not a dog guy. I just prefer cats. I like border collies. They're very smart, but they're very hyper.
Too hyper, yeah.
Yeah, but they are very, very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
For me, there are two that like I'm really fond of, and that's Husky and German Shepherd.
Ooh, you like hair and everywhere.
That's the one thing I don't like about them, but like just like looks wise, I think that they're adorable.
Huskies are beautiful dogs. Same with German Shepherds. I agree.
Yeah.
We are an anime podcast, so I would be remiss to not mention Inu Shiba.
Okay.
Shiba Inu.
Or Don't Sweat TTs from our Discord's reply to Bunny was also Corgi, which is also an anime certified dog.
Mm-hmm. Corgis are good. I like corgis. Yep. They're cute.
Little corgi running around. And Dark Reunion says Rottweilers because they love big dogs and everyone is scared of. Plus, they're so handsome.
Most of the Rottweilers I've seen are like super docile. They get a bad rap.
They do get a bad rap. Honestly, like I've always said this, like with dogs, it's not so much the breed. Like the breed plays a small role, but it's mostly like how they're raised in the owner. Like that's really what makes the difference.
Yeah. It's
I've
more
just
the
never seen
individual than the
seen a
package.
Rottweiler that is just not just laying there. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just lay there and sleep basically most of the
They're just
time.
there.
I've been barked
Yeah.
at by a few, but whatever. Like that's pretty standard when you're walking by their yard,
Yeah.
they bark at you. Whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure. Well,
Do we have a question of the week? I feel like I can hear the music coming over me, and I just
The
feel like there's a
music's coming
question
in.
coming.
the music.
We didn't
And,
discuss a
uh,
question of the week before,
I
so I'm
think
hoping
it's-
one of you
I
guys
think
can
I
think of
can.
something.
I think I can quickly come up with one right now. What is your most mid anime of 2022?
Wow, Cole.
Ooh.
That's a great question. I couldn't have thought of a better one.
Was that
Mike,
what
could
you
you
thought
have?
That's exactly what I thought of.
Okay. Stay tuned after the break because we are going to talk about our mid anime for the 2022 year.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time. Anyway, let's go to an break.
Let's go.
Hey, stop watching hentai. Welcome back to the second half of the Anime Protagonist podcast. This podcast sure is mid, just like the shows we're about to talk about. I don't know. I gave up a long time ago on doing these reintros properly, so welcome to Winging It with Mike, because we're talking the middest shows. It's our annual Middies, maybe annual if this goes well. If
Look,
it
we
doesn't go well, we'll never hear this again.
Next week, we're going to talk about the best shows and the best things that happened this past year. This is when we talk about the worst shows or the most mid shows.
That's right. These are, instead of the best of, we're talking the worst of this week. And we just basically, we weren't sure what categories we have. So if you have categories you can think of that are better than what we have here, let us know in our Discord. Come to our Discord. You can find all our links at AniProPod.com, and you can tell us what categories we should put in our next iteration of the Middies. But for now, we got OP. This is the worst stuff for all these categories. We got the worst OP, the worst ED, the worst protagonist, the worst antagonist, the worst boy, the worst girl, the worst surprise, the worst animation, the worst character design, and the worst anime of the year. And we're going to talk about them, and we're going to get ready because things are about to get a little spicy. We had a recent review on the thing complaining that we have bad takes, so get ready for a lot of bad takes coming right up, served hot and fresh to you, buddy.
Here they come.
Hot.
I hope you're still listening, because
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to say we're mid.
And then
I guess.
also, thank you for saying we have good chemistry. That was
We do
actually
have
very
good
nice
chemistry.
of you.
Yeah.
That was
very nice.
actually
Yeah.
very.
As
we
far as
appreciate
bad
you.
reviews go, it was actually very helpful.
It's
Yeah.
very helpful. Also, you know what? No, I'm gonna save this for.
Yeah,
remind
save it
me.
for
I have very nice things to say about our listeners.
I think we're gonna at the end of this
Later.
maybe we'll say some of our reviews, maybe or the reviews on Apple Podcast. Whatever you're listening to this on, review us. Give us 5
Review us,
stars.
it helps
whatever.
us out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah,
it
you like
actually
the
does
show?
really help us out. Yeah.
If you like the
Look,
show, listen to us.
You like
Or
the show?
listen-
Give us a review. Tell a friend. You know the spiel.
Yeah.
If you
I
like
don't mean
the
to
show, listen to us.
listen. I don't mean to beg, but please, for the love of God, review us. Anyway,
Yes, that
let's
bad
talk some
review
Middies.
obviously hurt us.
Yeah, we're crying.
I
here.
was crying for days.
I think Jay actually was a little upset. But let's talk about the worst OP of 2022.
Let's talk about them. I'm gonna just peek behind the curtain here for this one. I had a really tough time with this episode because I exclusively watch only the choicest anime, the prime cuts of anime.
Cole, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How many of the shows on your nominees is from Beast Tamer?
Well, this one actually. The Beast Tamer OP is so lame. I don't skip OPs ever, but this one I skip. This one sucks.
Really?
This
Is that
OP
bad?
is bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like it reminds me of the first OP for Shield Hero, which also sucked, but it's worse. You know?
See,
you know what I mean, Jay?
I didn't think the OP for Beast Tamer was bad, but it was definitely not good. It was just like, I did not care. Like, I wouldn't add it to my playlist, but like, I wouldn't I wouldn't throw tomatoes at the person who wrote it.
Yeah, I use this term like very sparingly, but it's cringe, bro. Like it's not a good one. It's a bad one.
It's a bad one.
I'm watching it right now, like as you guys are talking about it for the first time, and I completely agree. It is incredibly mid, as the kids say. Like it's a bunch of just like stand still shots, and they just look like they're just not. There's not much effort put into this OP at all.
Yeah, I will say the ED for it I actually like. It's quite charming, but the OP for it is not good.
Mm-hmm.
I am a sucker for people flying through the air in an OP, and there's a lot of people flying through the air, which I do like. I do like that part.
Well, then just watch the OP for Urusei Yatsura. You can watch Lum flying around. At least she's interesting and cute. Actually, the cat girl in this is pretty cute. But
cat girls are always good.
We're just down bad. I'm just down bad for the cat girls.
Cole's just a furry.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
Jay,
just down bad. Just down bad. Yeah, too far. My worst OP for 2022 is The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt. The song is called Level by Sixth Lie, I think. I don't know. This OP is just like so lame. It's an okay song. It's your standard generic like anime OP song with like, it doesn't even look like they bothered to like make a new animation for the OP, because it's all just like people talking in the OP.
I honestly forgot that this show
really
was
bad.
even happened this year.
That's very like Western opening credits, you know?
Yeah.
Like they'll just like
it
rip out and
like mouth flaps going the whole time. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah.
That's maybe
It's weird.
That's a great take by you, Cole. That actually is part of what like kind of like caught
That's
me off
weird.
guard when I was watching this one.
Yeah.
And just like it just seems like your Beast Tamer one, it just seems like super low effort. It just seems like they just didn't bother. They're just like, oh crap, we forgot to make an OP. Just use some. No one's gonna watch the show. Just make something.
You know what? It is weird, like in anime fandom, how much we expect really good opening credits. You know, it's kind of weird when you stand back and think about it. Like, we don't expect that stuff in the West, but when there are good opening credits in the West, like they stand the test of time.
Yeah, we just don't appreciate it the same way, I don't think. You know what I mean? Like, you know
I think
what I mean?
we do. I think we appreciate them here. I just don't think that studios and stuff care. You know? Like, you look at X-Files, right? X-Files, iconic opening. The House OP with the House OP.
The House OP.
Is
an episode
great.
of Best Western OPs.
We should do that.
We should do that.
I think that was one of the first ideas I had for this podcast. But
yeah.
Sorry, Jay, you can tell us.
My worst OP of the year comes from a little anime known as Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World.
Oh. That's an anime?
That's an anime. It was on Crunchyroll. So I'm counting it.
Okay.
If it's on Crunchyroll, I'm counting it. If it wasn't on Crunchyroll, then I'd be like, yeah, I agree.
Overflow. OP of the season.
I got one thing to say about this OP.
Yeah.
And it's Ara Ara.
It's not even that. It's just like it feels very low effort. The song is just whatever. There's nothing about it that makes me feel like they put in any effort into this show. It really feels like the thing that had all the effort was the jiggly bits.
Well, I mean, it's
yeah,
because it's the whole point of the dang show.
Yeah,
the jiggly bits.
The jiggly bits.
Yeah.
But like, this OP was just very nothing.
I'm trying to find it to watch it, and it's like literally not even coming up in search. So that's not a good sign.
No, that doesn't
bode well.
YouTube's criteria. That's getting taken down.
Yeah, is that what it is? Is it just like too Is there just too much going on in it?
No. It's
is
just
it kind
like
of a jazzy song, Jay, for the OP?
I think so. I can't even
Okay,
remember. I watched it
OP
earlier
is
today just to
incredibly
like
mid.
refresh my memory, and it just kind of like right over my head. I did like there were a couple of OPs this year, like World's End Harem, that I didn't really like. Beast Tamer was up there, but this one like it just like it just like really made me like ugh.
Yeah, just extra bad.
Yeah.
I have another one that is the first mention of what will undoubtedly be mentioned a few times on this list of middies. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie is so mid for OP. I don't even remember it at all. Period.
I didn't mind that OP. Like again, it wasn't.
The ED was good.
The ED was
That's
good.
the one thing I'll say.
I don't remember the OP either.
The OP was just not memorable to me.
Let's talk about our worst EDs since we're talking about them already.
Sure.
They want to go first?
Wow, it just cuts me off. Yeah, sure. I guess I'll go first. I got one.
Yeah.
I got a controversial pick that's really going to hurt Jay's heart.
Oh, no.
Okay.
But I feel it needs to be said.
Okay.
Because when this happened on my television screen, I thought,
these are fighting words.
They tried and they couldn't do it. They couldn't do it again. They couldn't do it again like they did in the first season. And I'm talking about the rap battle from Kaguya-sama.
Oh, no!
That ED is...
Oh, no!
Oh.
That one just makes my stomach feel wonky because it's cringy.
Cole,
No.
can I confess
But like I think that's
something
kind
to you?
of partially the point. I know you're going to say you agree with Cole.
I'm into this take of yours. I didn't like it either.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I
might
mean,
have,
maybe that's the point, but...
because like Kaguya
I guess
can
it
be
just
very
wasn't-
cringy at times, especially like when it's going all in on rap.
No, but it's just
But like the cringy aspect of it happened already in the show, right? Like it was very like Curb Your Enthusiasm, like these people shouldn't be rapping, it's cringy, but like that's the comedy of it. The ED for it was, I don't know, I think it was trying to be genuine and it just fell flat for me. And the fact that they were and the fact that they were trying to do the Kagi or the Chica dance.
It just you
Again.
can't help but compare it
that
to the
didn't
Chica
bother
dance, and it just didn't hold up.
I mean,
this one to me, it wasn't bad, but it's the definition of mid.
I wouldn't call it mid. I'd call it above mid. But I can see where you're coming from when you hold it up against the Chica dance, but
I wouldn't say
disagree.
it's mid. Like I give them props for trying. I just don't. I think it was Icarus. You know, that flew a little too close to the sun. Its wings melted. And hey, I mean, you can't get to that point without trying.
I disagree, but
for
you
me,
know,
it didn't.
let's agree to
honestly,
disagree.
We're not all going to agree, right?
Yeah, let's agree to disagree.
Yeah, for EDs this season, like I had a tough time because this year, most of the EDs I kind of liked.
This is a good year for EDs, actually.
Yeah, like even
Except
I went back
for
and I looked at
Mike's-
some of my shows. Oh, go ahead, Mike. Yeah,
I was gonna say Jay was about to reveal his. I think.
No, I was I passed it off to you.
Oh, okay.
You're next, Mike. Go.
So I actually had trouble with this one because, like I just said, there was quite a EDs this year were actually hitting pretty nice, but there's one notable exception, and I feel like this is a bit of a cop out because I will confess to you that I did watch most of these EDs, even though I'm not much. I am generally an ED man over an OP man most of the time. I don't know why. I just tend to vibe with them more somehow, but
Usually
this
more
one
chill.
I think so, and they kind of they're a bit more vibey generally, whereas OPs are usually a little more like hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm here for the vibes. But this ED, while I did watch it every week, most weeks I just skipped to the end of it just to see what was going on because basically there wasn't really any animation here. It was just like slowly unraveling a puzzle or slowly showing you the full image. It was like you're playing like a little guess with the image game. I'm talking some Eminence and Shadow ED. I just did not vibe with this at all. The song was fine. It was whatever. but like literally all it was just like, here is a wallpaper of one of the waifus from this show, and we're gonna slowly show it to you. And I would just skip to the end to see the whole picture, and then I'd go to the next episode. That's all.
Mike would remove his pants as he skipped to the end of the episode.
That's right. Yep. Naturally, I'm down bad. I'm down bad. Get that in a clip. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot to say here.
We are so spicy about that review.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. They
won. It's our first bad review.
They won. We had our first bad review. We're all a little spicy about it. It's fine. Anyway. We should stop actually saying things because people are going to leave us bad
on,
reviews.
boys.
Yeah.
It's
Jay,
one bad review.
Yeah, Jay, tell us your worst ED of 2022.
Man, there were a lot of good EDs this year, but there was one that just like really made me just roll my eyes. I don't skip anything. Like even if it's bad, I won't skip it. I'll just like go on my phone while it plays.
So
I'll
you're a
use
masochist.
it as my excuse to now I can go on my phone.
Okay.
But the one ED that just like really made me go like, I kind of want to skip this is the ED to Date A Live Season 4. You probably forgot that there was a season of Date A Live this year, right? Yeah, weird. But
I'm just going to throw it back to our previous discussion of like shows that we watched that were mid. Just mentioning that right here. Anyway, sorry, talk about Date A Live 4.
Yeah, so the ED, the backing percussion sounded like it was made in GarageBand.
Nice.
It was just like a ton of different pictures on like just moving pictures to the left or to the right. And then like it started on like this design that just like rotated. I don't know what the point of that was, but sure, it really did nothing to get me invested.
I think I have a clip of the drum sound. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I don't think that's right.
No?
No, I don't think so. What about, do you have any more to say about that, Jay?
No, like it just, man, I like you, Day Day Live. You're not terrible, but you're not great. But this ED really doesn't help with the positive argument.
Yeah, sometimes you can just tell when they phone it in for like an OP or ED, and I'm guessing this is just one of the ones you can tell they just phoned it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Protagonist? Who's your worst protagonist for 2022?
Well, I think we'll go in the same order, and I'll start. And now begins my tearing down of more of programs that came out this season. You Izumi.
Oh, good take.
Yeah,
good take.
What a milquetoast, boring, lame character.
Kind of ruined the show, actually. Like legitimately. So milquetoast that he ruined the show. Protagonist from Shikimori is not just a cutie.
Yes. The show, it just overstayed its welcome for me, I think. Like it just, how many times can it do the same joke over and over?
Yeah. I will say it did finish semi-stronger, but yeah, you definitely did not do it for me in this show. Yeah. Like, he didn't do anything the whole show. He just almost died basically the entire time almost.
I will appreciate that he is a cinnamon roll, which is fine. I just like,
if you don't care for cinnamon rolls, then nothing's gonna really do it for you.
What we got to remember too is these were shows that we actually watched too, and I know I was joking about like, oh, I only watch good shows, but like, I wasn't subjecting myself to shows that I knew would be bad.
Yeah.
So like, you is probably the lamest character of the shows that I watched, but I know that there's probably worse protagonists out there than him. Like ultimately, he's just unoffensive. He's just inoffensive and boring. That's the issue I have with him. Yeah.
I thought about putting him as one of mine actually, but I ended up putting the protagonist from Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2, Naofumi, as my worst protagonist of the year, because that show was so lame. Such a disappointment. Like the first season started off so strong, and then it kind of like started to peter out by the end. And then season 2 is just like, man, I could care less about what's happening right now.
Yeah.
I think I got to like episode 14 of season 1, and then I just like,
yep,
done.
You watched the best part
It's
of
kind
Shield
of like
Hero.
by the halfway point, it just like it loses what made the show interesting in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Like Naofumi starts off as interesting because he's like down and kind of like, you can see why he's grumpy, but then he kind of turns it around and he's still kind of like super negative about everything and kind of like
things
grumpy.
happen that make his life better, and then like he's still the same.
Yeah, and it's like, just cheer up, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be so grouchy all the time. And just, I don't know. He just,
Yeah.
in season 2, he's just the bad part of Naofumi, and it's just not great. I'm not a fan at all.
Mm-hmm.
That is why he's my worst protagonist for this year. Jay, who's yours?
So I feel like it's kind of unfair because I'm the one that watches the bad shows because so you don't have to. So I actually like have like genuinely
Don't
bad.
lie. You like the trashy shows.
Sometimes, but
Yeah.
then there's characters like Michio Kaga, the protagonist from Harem and the Labyrinth of Another World,
Oh,
that just really gets under your skin.
you know what? That is probably the winner for this. Like, if I had to vote between the three, because like doesn't he like advocate slavery?
Yes, he advocates
That's
slavery when he
not
buys. He buys this. Okay, spoilers for this show. Look, I'm gonna say spoilers, but like genuinely, do not watch this show. You shouldn't care that I'm spoiling it for you, because he buys a slave and then he asks her to kiss him every morning to wake him up.
Yeah,
And then he also
and
forces
does
her to have sex with him.
Yeah, all of that is reasons you shouldn't watch this show.
His whole like motivation for the first half of the show is him saving up enough money so he can purchase her. Yeah.
Thank you, Cole. Thank you.
So if like there was no other character this season that just like aggravated me. And the fact that I watched 8 episodes, I wish I didn't. I wish I watched
you watched
one,
8 episodes of it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jay,
Yeah.
you horny bastard.
It wasn't even that. I struggled through it.
He did it. He
that's-
watched it so that we wouldn't have to.
I watched it so you wouldn't have to. I did it for you.
Salute to Jay. We need to get Cole. The next drop we need is like a trumpets or something, like a.
Yeah.
Add
Here.
that to the
This
list.
is the best I got.
Thank you,
Jay.
thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
We'll be
You
obliged. Please. You shouldn't have.
Honestly, like everything I've
You
heard
really
about
took
this
one
show
for the team, Jay.
just makes me not want to watch it. There's literally no
Mike-
redeeming
Mike-
qualities to me.
You would have a better time watching paint dry
Yeah.
than watching this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the antagonist since we're all fired up now?
Sure.
Sure, let's
Let it
do
rip.
that.
Beyblade, let it rip.
Yeah, I couldn't come up with one. Sorry. I always have a tough time like picking an antagonist. I think because a lot of the shows I watch don't have. Yeah, I just watch slice of life shows, so a lot of the shows I watch don't have like antagonists.
Mm-hmm.
So my
You are your own
antagonist.
antagonist.
Yeah, my worst antagonist of the year is probably the sexual tension between the three of us.
Yeah, that is a bad antagonist.
That's the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we even need to say what ours are. We can just like say that that's
that
the
one
winner.
wins.
Yeah.
Well, I'll waste some time though. I'll say mine. My worst antagonist, and I know this is gonna rub one of us the wrong way.
Ooh.
Because I think they might have won best antagonist actually for one of our votes.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's from the summer season.
Okay.
I know which show. I know what it is.
What do you think it is?
Is it Ryuen from Classroom of the Elite?
No. Ryo was a good antagonist actually. I liked him in that.
Okay.
In class. I actually genuinely really like Classroom of the Elite season 2. My worst antagonist for 2022 is Kurakawa from Sabakui Bisco.
That was from Winter.
Was that winter? Oh, I thought it
Yeah.
was summer. I don't know. That show was pretty mid, to be honest with you.
You guys hyped that show up though when it came out. You
It
guys
started
loved it.
so
Yeah.
strong. It started really strong, and then it just lost its
See,
way.
here's
along
the thing
way.
for
Lost
me.
the plot.
Yeah.
if it were in a season where I was watching a lot of other things, like if Sabaku Hibisco was airing in fall, then I probably would have just like said it's lost in the shuffle.
Yeah,
I wasn't watching Attack on Titan. I wasn't watching
Right.
Demon Slayer. So like the only two shows I had were My Dress Up Darling and this. Those were like the two prominent shows I was watching.
Yeah.
And like, what antagonist would you say for My Dress Up Darling?
There isn't one.
Exactly.
There's one. Yeah.
So like, I was kind of tight for
Hamstrung a little
choice.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not the Jay Defends His Picks podcast, though. This is the Mike trashes this pick. Or no, trashes Kurakawa as a character. He just like didn't do anything very interesting, and he was just like too like cardboard cutout villain for me. It just didn't.
Yeah.
And like his motivations and everything didn't really work, and he didn't make. For a good antagonist, I want to be angry about them, and he didn't make me actually angry at all. I didn't care about him at all. He could have done whatever he wanted. I didn't really care. So,
and from what I remember, the one thing that like could have made me angry was taken back like a couple episodes later.
Yes, that's just a problem with Bisco as a whole, though, right?
Yeah.
Jay, tell us your worst antagonist.
My worst antagonist, and we're going to go back to a show that we've talked about previously, but not the one you're probably thinking about, and that is the turtle from Shield Hero Season 2.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good take, too.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't know you watched Shield Hero Season 2, actually.
I did, but I didn't finish it.
I finished it. Why did I do that?
But, yeah, just the, like, just the whole thing surrounding the turtle, the fact that, like, it was like one of the slowest fights ever.
It's literally a turtle.
It is a turtle.
Jay. It is a turtle.
Yeah. And then like the reveal by the end of the season, I like jokingly said something about it, and then like I turned out to be true. I was like, what? So just like the whole thing surrounding that turtle, just like, no.
This is a very weird conversation. Jay said turtle too many times, and I'm getting that like effect where the word doesn't feel real, you know?
Turtle is kind of a weird word when you really think about turtle.
It is a weird
strange word.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great take, Jay, actually, because like the turtle was like the whole time that whole thing was happening with the turtle. And, you know, it's Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2 when the turtle came in. It's just like, why is this happening? Why is there a turtle why is the turtle the villain? Why am I watching so much turtle on the scrin right now?
Why is it terrible
I didn't
CG?
choose to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
did I say turtle enough, Cole?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me fix that real quick. Turtle.
Remember Master of Disguise with Dana Carvey? Turtle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kate, worst
It's a
boy.
deep 90s cut reference. Worst boy. I don't even need to look at my phone. Someone in our Discord is going to love me for this take. Worst boy? Denji.
Oh, spicy.
Listen, I love Denji. Bad boy, though.
He's a bad boy.
He's a bad boy. He is creeper. He's listen, I've defended him. I've defended the take. But ultimately, like, even in the show, like, Aki's better. Denji's fun and interesting, but not a good boy. Bad boy.
He's arguably the worst boy in that show, right? Because like even like the guy at the end, what's the name of the trainer guy who like just kicks the crap out of him in power? He's even like a more like a better character.
Yeah, I like him. He's more fun.
He's a better boy.
Yeah. Denji, bad boy. Bad boy.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say about it, because I do really like Chainsaw Man, and even Denji I like as a character. He's just like, you know, in terms of best boy, you know, like
you can't put him as best boy.
I usually rank best boy as like who's the most cinnamon toast, you know, who's the most who's the
biggest cinnamon roll.
Yeah, and he is bottom. bottom of the barrel for cinnamon roll.
Yeah, his cinnamon roll is rancid for sure.
Yeah. It's a dry roll.
So dry. There's no
Throw
icing.
it in the garbage.
There's nothing. It's trash.
No,
you bite it, it's like sour. It's sour. Why is this cinnamon roll sour?
Why is this? Yeah, and like not good sweet sour. It's like it's like bitter sour.
Yeah, like this has been sitting on
Why are there
refrigerated
pickles
for
in
way
here?
too long.
Yeah,
there's a
I'm
pickle
eating
in my
like a
cinnamon roll.
lemon rind. It's gross.
But I agree. I do like Denji as a character, but bad boy for sure.
Bad boy. Michael, tell us your boy.
Who's your worst boy?
Apparently, worst boy is going to be the one that gets us canceled from the internet because we have the hottest takes here.
Oh boy.
Listen, my worst boy for 2022 is someone that I know you two are quite familiar with.
Oh.
Is it Ataru?
I knew it.
I knew it. I hate him. He's so
I knew you'd say
lame. Oh, I don't like the Ledger characters generally. And he's always yelling. Just chill, bruh. Stop yelling as I yell.
Yeah. I just like Ataru because of his voice actor. He's a creeper too. He's a creep.
He's a bad boy.
Okay, first of all, he pines after Lum in the first episode, and then he just like doesn't want anything to do with her anymore after she's interested in him.
Bad boy.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
It's like I'm talking to my cat right now. Bad boy.
This is like go take a time out, bad boy.
Yeah. He only cares about like the pursuit, and then he doesn't actually. He's just
he's a fan of the chase. He's not a fan of being chased.
He just wants to play the game.
Qualities.
He doesn't want the prize, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no redeeming qualities. That's why he is my worst boy. Jay, who's your worst boy?
My worst boy, and this is going to sound very familiar.
Oh, no.
We're going with the protagonist from Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World.
Oh, my
okay.
God.
Yeah, okay. Lots of the same reasons we said before.
The same reasons he's a bad
Jay,
boy.
What a brave take. What a brave take, Jay.
Thank you.
I think we could really appreciate you standing on the hill that trying to purchase a slave is bad.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, not just a slave, a sex slave.
Yeah, and one that you force to kiss you awake every morning. That's
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No, this show's canceled.
I wish I hadn't watched it, so
You wish you hadn't watched 7 episodes of it?
8 episodes.
I'm sorry, 8 episodes.
Yeah.
I thought you were better than what I thought.
See, I was doing it so I could come on to the podcast and say how bad it was, and I was just like, I'm done. I can't even keep going. No.
Can't do it
Coming
anymore.
on the podcast. Yeah. Do you guys have any kind of like runners up for best worst boy? Cool, you gotta get faster with the soundboard.
Well, it's listen, I'm trying to host here. I'm trying to do this soundboard. Worst boy. I like the Ataru take. I really appreciate that. That's good.
I do appreciate the Ataru take.
I'm surprised you guys approve of that. I do like Denji as a bad boy too. He is a bad boy.
You people will be like, you picked you as your worst protagonist, but not as the worst boy. You is a good boy because he's a cinnamon roll. He's a bad protagonist. It's like Bocchi. Bocchi's best girl, but bad protagonist because they don't do anything. They're just there to be like sweet.
Yeah, they're just like basically a gag, right? That's kind of my issue with Ataru too, is like it feels like he doesn't really do anything. It's just a gag, right?
Well, like nothing really happens in Urusei, right? Like it's just an episodic thing.
It's
maybe that's why it doesn't vibe with me.
Yeah. And I mean that's like partially what Rumiko Takahashi does for a lot of her shows. Like Ranma 1/2 is like that. There's no real plot.
Sounds pretty standard for Rumiko.
Yeah. Inuyasha has no plot. Everybody knows
I will say, though, Meizo Nikoku is probably the best thing she's ever done, and that's also because it's seinen. So, definitely recommend that one. But we're not talking about... This isn't the Rumiko Takahashi podcast.
No, it's time for us to say who
are...
are...
good.
Yeah, we got to talk about worst girl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be contentious.
This one's going to hurt, Jay. This one's going to hurt your heart. Do you want to guess who I'm going to say?
Shikimori?
It's Shikimori. Yeah, Shikimori is a one-trick pony. She's a one-trick pony, Michael.
I can't agree with this take.
Nope.
It's the
Lame.
best part of that show.
Well,
She is the best part of that show.
Sure. Best
I-
part of a lame, boring show.
I do disagree, or I do agree that like she's not great, but I do disagree that she's the worst part or the worst thing this year.
I would never argue her as best girl, but
Yeah.
I don't think I can stand by her as worst girl. I can't put my stamp of approul on that.
Yeah. The thing is, though, this is the
Well-
Middies, Mike.
Yeah, here's the thing. You guys can shut your mouths because this is my pick.
Okay, mouth shut.
Yeah. And again, I think this because people are gonna be like, "Oh, I thought you liked the step on me energy," and I do like that.
She doesn't have that energy though.
Yes, she does. She's cool.
No, she's so cool and cute.
Listen, I've seen episode 1 through
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
There was. I didn't watch a lot with bad girls, I think, is the thing. And that's why I gotta go with this one. The show really just rubbed me the wrong way. Oh! No!
Oh no.
I'm going with Lilith. The maid from
Oh, I forgot about that show.
yeah.
Yeah.
The maid I
Yeah.
hired recently is mysterious.
Yeah. No, that's the one I'm going with.
She's a pedophile.
You said it. I didn't say it.
That is
I
true.
didn't say the P
That
word.
is true.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, bleep the P word.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just mark that clip.
I said perv.
Yes, she is a groomer, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she is it. She's it. No
Yeah.
amount of Rie Takahashi can save her. She is
the best. Rie Takahashi is the one good thing about her.
Not
And-
enough.
Much
Yeah.
like Shikimori, she has the unfortune to be cast in a very not great show too, right? So
Yeah.
that doesn't help her case.
Yeah.
Pretty mid show. I even forgot about it completely. What
Yeah,
a mid
so did I.
waifu.
That's classic mid when you completely forget about it. Do you want to know what my middest best girl or worst girl of the season is or year?
Frankly, I've been waiting all day to hear what your best or worst girl of the season is.
Well, hold on. Let me open my little envelope here.
Okay. Why did you seal this one?
This is a big award. The worst girl, really? Like this is
Yeah, I
AniPro
guess,
signature
that's
material,
true.
right?
Mike, that sounds very down bad of you.
Super down bad. Jay's spite knows no boundaries. And his spite will be activated once more when I declare Kushida from Classroom of the Elite Season 2 to be the worst girl of 2022.
No, honestly, she is a bad girl. She's a
She's
pretty
a
one's Kushida?
bad girl. She's
Which-
the
one
she's
with the short hair.
short hair and she threatens.
Okay, come on, short hair, step on me. No, I'm down bad.
No. She's like the Genki girl, but I can't say anything because it's all spoilers.
It is all spoilers.
It's all
No.
spoilers.
No, I know which one you're talking about now.
Yes.
The one
Bad
with the
chick.
big honkers.
She has, they all have
That's
big
all
honkers
of them in that
show.
show.
That's the whole point of that dang show. It's like the protagonist is literally me, and there's girls with big honkers who all want the protagonist. That's the whole point of the show.
Yeah. This is a bad take from Michael. I will. No, she's the best girl in that show.
She's a horrible girl. She's the worst girl of the year.
She's the best girl in that show is Kei Karuizawa.
Yes,
I have no idea who that
Karuizawa is great. Yes, I
Because she
agree.
didn't
Not even
appear
a
that
real-
much in season 1, so that's fair.
It's not even a real person.
She had a
That's
lot
like-
of good moments in season 2 too.
Yeah.
That's like Jay's take on best girl in Persona. Not even real. Not even a real character.
Listen.
no.
We're gonna get the listeners in on this. Okay, comment down below. Is
What if people are
Kasumi
listening on Spotify? They can't do that.
Is Kasumi a real character in Persona 5 Royal? And is she best
No.
girl?
No. That is not the question. Is she a canonical character in Persona 5?
This is Cole's whole
That's-
theory. He thinks Persona 5 Royal is just fan fiction and not
It's
actually
not.
part of the story.
The direct sequel to Persona 5 is Persona 5 Strikers, and nobody talks about her at all. Persona 5
Because-
Royal is not canon. Period.
It is canon.
It's not canon. It's
Please
not
come to our
canon.
Discord and yell at Cole.
It
why
is
he's
canon.
wrong.
I actually can talk about why she doesn't join, but it's spoilers, so I'll talk
Because
to
she's
you about
not
it off air.
real.
No,
she's not real, Jay.
She is real.
She's not real.
You're right,
Guys.
she isn't real. She's a video game character, just like Makoto.
Makoto's real to me. Look, she's right here.
Yes. Jay, please tell us your worst girl.
My worst girl, look, we've talked about bad shows, we've talked about bad characters and bad shows, but I need to talk about a certain character from a certain anime called Engage Kiss.
Oh, I was wondering if this show would come up.
And I want to talk about Kisara from Engage Kiss.
You're gonna have to tell me which is that the girl with the pink hair?
That's the girl with the pink hair.
Okay.
Which one's Engage Kiss?
That's the bad one. That was
Is that the one where she's like a vampire or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
well, I mean, she's got an
engaged
interesting
with the kiss.
design.
She's an interesting,
she looks cool.
She looks cool, but after that, it's just kind of like, no.
Shikimori looks cool too, though, to be fair.
She's not
Shikimori
boring.
does look cool.
It's more just like the things she does just makes me want to
Not watch?
not watch. Yes. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. She didn't make me want to watch, but to be fair, most of the girls in that show made me not want to watch that show.
Yeah. Unlike the girls in Harem of Labyrinth and Another World. Because you watched 8 episodes of that show.
There was only one girl, and that one girl appeared in like episode 6.
Really?
Yeah.
He didn't.
That-
He was just
the
the main
harem?
protagonist?
Yeah, Mike, let me tell you, the harem in the Labyrinth of Another World didn't appear in the 8 episodes I watched the show.
That is bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go with that. So let's talk. That was surprising. So let's talk about our worst surprise of the year. I don't even know. Took me by surprise.
Oh, convenient.
Yes.
Worst surprise of the year. I didn't know that we were picking
Yeah, I didn't know we were
this.
doing Worst Surprise.
Oh, are we not? Oh,
Well, you got one, so tell us
You
what
got
you
one?
picked.
Tell us what your worst surprise is.
mine's a pretty standard one, and it's semi-spoilers, but I'll just say what it is, and then we won't talk any more about it.
Mhm.
The puke scene in Chainsaw Man was my worst surprise of the year, because if you didn't know that was coming, holy crap, that's awful.
Yeah, that would be a bad surprise. And then for the
Yeah.
people who did know it was coming, complaining
It's
about
still-
it being censored is also
Wait, people complained that it was censored?
yes.
Yeah, people complain
I'd
about
be like
everything.
happy it was censored because like that's disgusting.
Yeah,
Like I
Yes.
knew about it, and that was one of my biggest deterrents from getting into Chainsaw Man was knowing about that puke scene.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's one of your deterrents?
One of, not the
It's pretty
deterrent.
minor. It's a very quick. You could skip it pretty easily.
I know.
Yeah.
I said, it's one of, not the.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a bad surprise. I'd say
Yeah.
that's a good pick. I like that one.
Yeah.
It's
it is a good pick.
pretty bad. So yeah, if you guys don't have any surprises, we should move on, I guess then.
No,
Yeah,
I didn't pick one.
You know
Shaking
what?
your
Let's
heads.
talk about this. Let's talk about worst surprise. And it's going to sound familiar because it was also my best surprise.
Okay.
And that was
Love
the
Flops?
twist in Love Flops.
Oh, Jay's favorite show that he pretends he doesn't love.
That twist was so stupid and I hate it, but I love it, but I hate it.
Well, you guys are going to
Classic.
have to tell me what it is because I still don't know exactly
Maybe Jay
what
will
it
make
is.
us review it.
I'll tell you off air, Cole.
Well, yeah, you'll have to tell me off
Yeah,
air.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do we got next?
What's
Animation. Worst animation
Worst
for
animation.
2022.
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly. Let us
I
know.
have a hot take for this one.
Okay.
Ooh, we do
And
like
it
hot takes.
really-
This is the place.
It hurts me to say this one because it's from my
Ooh.
favorite animation studio.
What is
Studio
your favorite
Orange?
animation studio?
Worst animation this year, and it comes with a big asterisk, a big caveat. Ruby, Ice Queendom.
Mm.
When it doesn't try, it looks horrible. Its action scenes are great, but like its non-action scenes are so flat.
Yeah.
It's not good. Not good. Not good.
Isn't
Bad.
it that show is CG, right?
No.
So the original
No?
Ruby show was CG.
Mm.
Oh, okay. I
not-
thought the new
not the
one
new
was
one.
too. just by looking at it?
No.
Oh.
The new ones, and I talked about it when we, during the season that it came out, it'll go from like very, very mediocre animation to like stunning.
Yeah.
In like a scene.
It's so jarring.
It's very jarring, and I think that's why I have to say it's got the worst animation, because it's got such a jarring dichotomy between its kind of mail-it-in animation versus its like centerpiece animation. It's a hot take for me, but hey.
Yeah, it's a little. It's a mild, like it's it has a little bit of spice to it. But
I'll stand by it.
Yeah,
honestly, and now that my favorite director isn't with Shaft anymore, I think Studio Orange might be coming up there for my favorite studio.
I would almost just at this point say it is. Like, feel like if
they just constantly knock it.
If you ask me which it is, I would say Orange.
I would have said
knock it out of the park.
And I did say Orange, actually.
You did say Orange, literally a minute ago.
Everybody go watch Trigun Stampede. It's amazing. I'm going to get a haircut like Vosh.
Yeah. E-boy Cole coming in hot. Just like
he's coming.
Worst animation of the year. This one is an anime you probably forgot about.
Probably.
But it was the worst anime this year, probably.
Oh,
we'll find out soon.
Hint.
Hint. You know it was Mother's Basement's worst anime of this year. You know what it is?
Oh,
Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer?
Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Horrible. Like literally
it is so bad.
They have both bad CG and bad 2D animation in this show.
Yeah.
There's points where it looks like a slideshow. Like legitimately. And I'm not one where I'm like, I don't need amazing animation to enjoy a show. Like it just needs to look okay. It just needs to look fine and I'll be happy. This show legitimately was probably one of the worst shows I've ever watched. I dropped it very quickly.
I dropped this after episode 1. And like the fact that episode 1, which like should have the longest production time, still looked bad is very concerning.
Sign. Yeah, that's not a good sign. Yeah.
It was, if it's droppable, like certified droppable after episode 1, that is saying something.
Yeah.
Because usually they're putting all their whole budget into that episode 1 at least, right? They're trying to hook you in, and it did not do that. So that is why it's my worst animation of the season or the year, because it looked like a slideshow half the time. Cole,
you know what, Mike? Mike? That is a very good take. I think that is such a good take that it was also my take.
Oh,
hey, the rare Jay and Mike agree on something.
Yeah, like for all the reasons you said, it just like it looks so bad. It looks like a slideshow at sometimes. The CG looks awful. The 2D looks awful. And like just the fact that people hype the manga up as like genuinely like a very good manga.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were really hyped for it.
I've heard people legitimately say that the manga is like
god tier.
Fantastic, like top tier manga.
Like people I know Mother's Basement was like saying it was like the mangaka is on the level of like Urasawa and Kentaro Miura.
I think he said that
like,
in the
and like hearing that and then seeing this kind of animation, that's so upsetting.
So disappointing. Yeah, I agree.
So that is why Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer was my worst animation of the year.
I'm surprised it took us this long to have one that was the same, actually.
Honestly,
that's surprising. Yeah. I wonder if we have the same worst character design.
Ooh, well, let's find out.
Perhaps.
Worst character design. See, I could go with something like Shikimori, or I could go with Beast Tamer, but Beast Tamer, no, I can't go with Beast Tamer because the cat girl's too cute. Can't go with Shikimori because Shikimori does look pretty cool. I gotta go with. Excuse me, Michael?
My dogs do be barking out there.
Dogs do be barking. Was that your cat?
No, my wife just got home and I'm assuming she's playing with the dog, so the dog.
Oh, well, tell her to stop. Yeah. Tell her to stop playing with the dog. No, I'm going with a hot take here. And again, this is another one where I've got a bit of a caveat that I have to add to it. Day Live season 4.
Oh.
But not really. I'm just triggered about the studio change.
Oh, did it change studios for season 4?
It changed studios, and the
changed for
character
season 4,
designs
yeah.
changed a little bit. And honestly, it's not even that big of a deal.
Wait, Cole, are you caught up on Day-Day Life?
No, I watched like the first 2 episodes of the most recent season, and then I burnt out.
Okay.
After watching 3 seasons and 2 episodes,
Yeah.
I finally burnt out on it. But this is a meme pick for me. I actually really don't mind the new character designs. I like what they did with all of the waifu's hairs, like how they're like 2-tone different colors. It's kind of nice. I don't have a pick because, again, even the shows that I disliked, I appreciated the character designs. Yeah, it's a cop-out, but
Day-Day
I
Life.
cop out.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
You're allowed to cop out.
Yeah. Yeah.
My pick would be a show that I know Jay enjoyed as well. But this one, just for me, when I think back, I can't remember any of the characters, and to me that just screams bad character design. It's Tomodachi Game. I didn't like any of the character designs in that. They're so generic and just
other
just
than
so
like
boring.
the mascot character.
Yeah,
But,
that's the only person you can even remember in that show.
Honestly, I understand that. I think it's the story that really carried that anime for me.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. Not really.
Yep,
not really the character design. So I can agree with that.
I don't think it's too hot of a take. Like they're pretty generic in that show, and the only shining star, like Cole said, is Manobu or whatever his name is, the little mascot guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is my worst character design. Jay, who's your worst character design?
My worst character design is from a light novel adaptation, which isn't too much of a surprise.
Not surprising.
Normally, if you're looking at manga versus light novel adaptations, the manga already has characters that are designed, whereas the light novel you're gonna have to actually like redraw the characters. And that is The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest.
You know what? I thought of this show just today, and I hadn't thought about it in a long time. Tell me why it has the worst character designs, Jay.
They just look so vanilla and plain. Like, they are in a fantasy world, and if you were to search up fantasy world characters anime, you'd probably get these characters. Like, it seems like the most default fantasy harem anime character designs I've ever seen. And, like, fantasy harem anime light novel adaptation is probably, like, one of the most common anime out there right now. So like it just like it's super generic from a super generic story. Nothing about it stands out, and it just and like light novels on their own are like already prone to having really generic looking characters. So for them to be even generic amongst light novel characters, it's like oof. Yeah.
Just as a quick aside to that, because you mentioned that light novels have very like they don't have character designs. I saw the character designs for Snafu in the light novel compared to how they look like in the anime. They look nothing alike. I was really surprised.
Yeah, no, like
that just came up like this week, so I just thought I'd mention it.
Little shower thought going at you.
Yeah.
Just popped in my head.
What were you gonna say, Jay?
It's a different artist that worked on them, right?
Well, of
so
course,
they have to,
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, how about we get into worst anime of the year?
Ooh, the big one. Drum roll, please.
The big one.
The big boy. I guess I go first?
Yes. You go first. These are the worst anime of the season. This is prestigious.
Yeah. This is
for
prestigious.
all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Again, this has come up a few times in mine. And I hesitate to say it, but I'm going to play the drum roll again.
Loser.
And I'm going to go I'm going to go with Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie for the surprise factor and how
boring it is.
Lame it was for me.
Yeah. Was it definitely surprising to you though? Like you read the manga going into it.
That's true.
Yeah, I read the manga going into it, but again, I enjoyed the manga. Yeah, it's just the definition of mid.
Yeah. So what's
Yeah.
the trophy that these anime
but
get
Mike-
for being the worst?
Have
I don't know.
you know in Breath of the Wild when you collect all of the Korok seeds and then you present them to Hestiu and he gives you that big golden turd?
Yes.
That's what these all get.
They get the golden turd.
They
Okay,
get the golden turd. Got it.
Michael, I'm gonna play a drum roll and then you have to tell us what yours is, okay?
all right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
My worst anime of the 2022 year is Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
Ooh, Lucifer and the Biscuit. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
take. Good take.
Yeah. I almost didn't put this one because it's too boring of a take. It was just like objectively a horrible show.
Yeah.
But like for me to drop a show, like listen, I'm a masochist who watches shows to completion almost all the time. Like I almost always finish a show even if I don't like it that much. Just because I'm, like I said, a masochist. I'm a psycho. I can't stand watching, I can't stand not completing something. And for me to drop something on episode 1, that says a lot.
Yeah.
It was so bad that I could not even consider watching another 30 minutes of something. Are you kidding me? This show was horrible.
I know.
Get it out of
it
here.
was so
Why
bad.
why you do me like that? Don't do it. Don't do that.
And the fact that it was lauded as like among the best manga ever
Right.
written, like
It was so hyped that I actually drafted it in our seasonal draft for that
You
season.
did.
And
You did.
It failed me horribly. Thank gosh we didn't start taking score of our seasonal drafts until after that season.
yeah, you're lucky for that.
I was very lucky because I think it wound up with like a 60 or something, but yikes. Speaking of yikes, Jay, what is your worstest anime of the 2022 season?
My worst anime of the 2022 year is Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. I mean,
I saved
When
that
you have a
drop
harem
for
show-
you, Jay.
when you have the Harem show and your harem doesn't appear for 8 episodes, you
That's
know
a
you
bad
have a
move.
problem.
Yeah, that's bad.
Like,
Yeah.
who's it for at that point? Because like
People who are down
people-
bad.
But the people who are down bad aren't getting the down bad scenes until like at least 6 episodes in.
It's a tease. It's a tease, Jay. It's a tease. The
For
show's a
6
tease.
episodes, that's
Oh, yeah.
bad. That's a bad tease.
Who's getting teased for 8 or 6 weeks?
Yeah.
It's just
Psychos. Yeah.
And
what's-
like
NTR?
Look, that payoff for 6 weeks, it better be good payoff. And I don't know what that payoff is because I haven't seen it. I couldn't brave
Sure.
my way through it to see it.
Yeah. Well,
But
I'm
it's so bad.
yeah.
I think you probably
Well,
have to watch it on Pornhub to actually see the payoff.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's
Some
on
H anime
Crunchyroll.
stuff.
It's
yeah.
on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I'm just wanna like just curious what the crowd thinks of all these shows that we picked. Let's just take a quick listen to what everybody has to say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. What does the crowd think of our takes, Cole?
I don't know, but they should.
They don't like them. They don't like our takes.
If they don't like them, where can they tell us that they don't like them?
Well, Michael, they can tell us where they don't like them on our website or on our Discord or on our social medias, all of which can be found at AniProPod. That's AniProPod. You can follow me on the social media. That's at AniProcole, AniProcole. Mike, where can the people follow you?
Hello, I am Mike. I am a host on the AniPro podcast, and you can follow me at Gritty Gundam, GrittyGundam on the Twitter platform. Jay, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at JGaredian. That's JayGredian.
That's right. And please leave a like, review. Please review and subscribe. Tell a friend all about us and come to our Discord. Of course, we always say it, come to our Discord. We want people there. We want to talk to you all.
Do it.
Like I said earlier, links to everything is at our website, AniProPod.com, AniProPod.com. And just a quick shout out to our lovely listeners. We kind of sent out a bit of a request for reviews from everybody, and we got some really nice reviews, and we do really appreciate it.
Yeah,
we read all of them, and we make sure that all three of us read them. So
I actually wanted to quickly read one. I think we might read one a week and see how far we get with them. Hopefully we get a lot more. I want to read one from General Mill. They said, "I'm down bad for these dudes. I love hearing these sultry Canadians banter about anime every week." You know what, General Mill?
How about
that? How about some poutine, eh?
How about some poutine? We'll go play shinny out on the pond, eh, bud?
Oh yeah, fire up
have a quick dart, drink some.
Grab a quick Mickey and a 2-4 from the LC, eh?
Yeah, big time, bud.
We'll talk about the Leafs. How much we hate the Leafs.
I famously can't do like a classic Canadian accent, and I try. Everybody's awful.
Everybody's listening to us right now, and they're like, they just have normal Canadian accents.
Yeah, they
sound no different than their exaggerated accents. No, we thank you for listening to another episode, and we say, as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.